The KXAN News Podcast is sponsored by Shelf Genie.
A North Texas couple fighting to get their newborn home after she was removed by CPS. We hear from the family and take a look at the case. And it's laundry day for Austin's favorite MLS team. We hear from the player who started the Austin FC Laundry Project.
Beautiful weather here today. How long will this type of weather last? Not very. We'll show you the changes ahead for the work week in First Warning Weather.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Nabil Ramadna in for Mike Rush tonight. We start with an investigation into an overnight homicide in Travis County. Deputies responded to a domestic disturbance call just after midnight on Warial Hill Lane in Pflugerville. Police found the body of a woman in her 40s who had suffered from a gunshot wound. They also found a man who had been shot. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Now, we did check with the Travis County Sheriff's Office. They say this was an isolated incident and there's no danger to the public.
First Warning Weather with meteorologist Nick Bannon.
Not much to complain about from the weather department here today. Full blue skies and sunshine with a nice breeze and low humidity. This is how it looks in Northwest Austin at the Palms Car Wash, where the skies have literally no clouds at all in them. Temperatures are in the middle and lower 70s. We peaked at 76 in Austin here today, and we're almost 20 degrees colder than we were this time yesterday when highs reached the low to even some middle 90s. What a difference a day makes, right? And you can see on clouds and radar, there's nothing out there. We expect this evening's going to continue the clear sky. 71 at 7, 65 at 9, down to 61 here at 11 on what's eventually going to be kind of a chilly night for this time of year. Coming up in First Warning Weather, we'll show you how long it stays gorgeous like this ahead of the return of more warmth and more humidity and even multiple rain chances.
Thank you, Nick. And today was laundry day for Austin FC as the team's goalkeeper, Brad Stuver, hosted another laundry project event here in Austin. During the 3-hour event, volunteers came in to help people at the Quick Wash laundromat do their laundry and cover the cost.
It's very cool to just see all parts of the Austin community and the Austin FC community be out here and support this project.
When we first started, it was just we wanted to help one laundromat in one community and help as many people as we could there, and it kind of spread like wildfire from there.
Great to see the team out there. Stuver was the first ever MLS player nominated for ESPN's Humanitarian of the Year award last year, with this laundry project being a big reason for the nomination. And classes are canceled tomorrow at Round Rock ISD campus after it was vandalized this weekend. The principal of Walsh Middle School sent an email out to parents saying unidentified individuals caused significant damage and broke science wash stations, causing flooding throughout the campus. That flooding impacted a third of their classrooms. This comes as the school gets ready for the STAR testing this week. Officials will send out an update by 5 p.m. tomorrow. And a North Texas couple is fighting to get their newborn back after Child Protective Services removed her from the family's home last month. Tonight, we hear from the family and see the documents that show the case started over jaundice concerns. Lily Zhang has the story.
Rodney and Tamesia Jackson leave the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services in Dallas on Thursday after a visit with their daughter Mila. But the DeSoto couple is unable to bring her home.
I feel hunted. We feel hunted. Why? Why? Because we're fighting y'all? Because we know we haven't done anything? Like, I refuse to go out and without a fight.
A fight that began soon after Mila was born in March. 3 days after she was born at home, the couple was told at a doctor's office Mila showed signs of jaundice. According to court documents, a pediatrician called and texted advising Mila to be taken to the hospital for treatment, adding timing was important because, quote, complications could lead to brain damage. The CPS complaint says the couple was working with a licensed midwife and opted to work with her instead. The doctor called CPS.
It was just typical. You know, it's how the system always taps into people's lives, takes over without regards to concerns that the family has.
The family's legal team says the original CPS complaint incorrectly listed another woman as Mila's mother. The incorrect name and CPS history were attached to Mila's in the documents. A spokesperson for CPS told NBC5 Thursday they were unable to comment on this case, but the name error has been corrected. The Jackson story has gotten the attention of local organizations rallying in their support.
Stop policing black families! It's not just Mila, it's a lot of other babies that's going through this. Whether they're white, black, or brown, the color don't even matter. It's too many kids that's going through this system that's just been stripped away from good families.
Families like theirs who want their child home.
And we reached out to Baylor Scott and White, that is the hospital system of families pediatrician works for, and a spokesperson said it's inappropriate to comment on this matter. They added they abide by reporting requirements set forth in the Texas Family Code. And Alabama officials provided an update on a mass shooting that left at least 4 people dead in Dadeville last night. The Alabama law enforcement agency confirmed the shooting happened at a birthday party at around 10:30 p.m. Multiple people were also injured. However, their conditions are unknown. Officials also did not say what led up to the shooting and did not provide information on a suspect. An investigation, though, is ongoing.
There were 4 lives. Not fatalities, lives. There were 4 lives tragically lost in this incident. And there's been a multitude of injuries. As they said, this is going to be a long, complicated process.
The White House is responding to the latest weekend gun violence. President Biden issued a statement today following shootings Saturday night in Alabama and Kentucky. In the statement, Biden extends his condolences to the families of the victims and condemns gun violence, calling it outrageous and unacceptable. The statement goes on to say Americans agree and want lawmakers to act on common sense gun safety reforms. Our communities need it and deserve better. And the National Rifle Association annual meeting in Indianapolis continues throughout today, and it has triggered a number of protests outside the Indiana Convention Center. Dozens of people gathered yesterday to express their concern over gun violence, many waving signs and chanting about the issue of guns and safety in the wake of the recent mass shootings in Louisville and Nashville. Organizers also held a body count protest, which involves people lying down on the grass to represent children killed in mass shootings. An estimated 70,000 NRA members were expected to attend the 3-day event. Texas lawmakers pass a bill that could help lower the cost of your prescription drugs. We get into what details the changes that bill could bring. Another train derailment, this time in Maine, how the derailment happened and what materials the train was carrying. Texas lawmakers are looking to lower the cost of your prescription drugs through a bill passed in the House last Thursday. The bipartisan legislation would allow Texas to import drugs from Canada. Our Capitol correspondent Ryan Chandler explains how this would work.
Well, the authors of House Bill 25 estimate the bill could save Texans up to 70% on your common prescriptions if we import them from our northern neighbors, where the costs there are much cheaper. And for those struggling financially, those savings could make a big difference.
I am one of many Americans that have medical issues and can't afford to get the medications that I need. I am a single mother, special needs child, so at times I do have to choose who's going to get the treatment. Is it going to be her or is it going to be me?
Stories like Donna's are why this bipartisan group of representatives are pushing for solutions. Farmer groups have expressed concern about the safety of importing drugs not made in America, but the bill would require imports to be tested and approved by the FDA.
I am totally pro-business, but I am pro-free enterprise and a functioning market. And this is not a functioning market.
We can help ensure that Texans can afford the prescription drugs they need for themselves and for their families. This bill is about saving lives.
That bill will now head to the Senate, where Lubbock Republican Charles Perry will lead the effort to push the bill through. In Austin, I'm Ryan Chandler. Back to you.
According to the bill's fiscal note, it will cost the Health and Human Services Commission $2.8 million to implement this bill, and about the same in subsequent years. Contracting with Canadian drug suppliers will cost about $19.6 million each year. Going in depth, Texas actually passed a similar bill in 2005, but before they could take effect, the FDA told the state that it was against federal law to import prescription drugs from Canada. Greg Abbott was the state's attorney general at the time. He issued an opinion agreeing with the FDA, and Texas law never took effect. The federal landscape has changed in recent years, though. Back in 2020, President Donald Trump encouraged states and federal government to bring in lower-priced drugs from Canada. And when President Joe Biden took office, he ordered the FDA to work with the states to develop those programs. Now, 6 other states, including Florida and Colorado, are working to implement programs to get drugs from Canada. Tomorrow, opening statements begin in the trial of Travis Hall. Hall is facing a murder charge after an investigation into his wife's disappearance in 2021. KXAN will be there tomorrow. To be sure to head over to KXAN.com for the very latest in that case.
Weather sure was nice today, but maybe the pollen's still bugging you a little bit. Mold high, grass and oak medium, ash low today, and we also have mulberry and willow low. The temperatures were much lower, of course, after highs in the mid-90s yesterday. We dropped below average to 76 today. We'll show you a warming temperature trend when the humidity comes back and when you'll need that umbrella again in First Warning Weather.
This KXAN News podcast is brought to you by Shelf Genie. I'm Rosie Newberry from KXAN Studio 512. Considering replacing your kitchen cabinets? Struggling to find or reach things? Go to shelfgenie.com/Austin. Shelf Genie designs custom pull-out shelves for your existing cabinets, adding convenience and value to the most used room in your home. Shelf Genie custom pull-out shelves, everything in reach.
A 72-year-old Florida man lost his leg in an alligator attack on Friday. The man's leg was amputated as he was airlifted to a local trauma center. The alligator remained at the scene, swimming in the nearby canal with the man's foot in its mouth. Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission officers and Brevard County Sheriff's deputies fired shots at the gator before pulling the reptile onto shore. A freight train derailment in Rockwood, Maine left 3 workers injured on Saturday. Officials say several cars on a freight train derailed into a wooded area and started a small forest fire. Emergency responders were able to contain the fire. The preliminary assessment pointed to a buildup of melting ice and debris that washed out part of the railroad track as a possible cause of the accident, according to the Maine Forest Service. Some hazardous material was on board the train, but officials on the scene said that they were not at risk of leaking or catching fire.
First Warning Weather with meteorologist Nick Bannon.
Sure was a beautiful one today, and if you haven't got outside to enjoy it as much as you would like to, there's still time. We've got your sunshine in Liberty Hill now from our Whittlesey Landscape Supplies camera, and we're still in the 70s, but with clear skies, dry air, and light-ish winds. These temperatures are going to fall here pretty quickly tonight. You can see barely a cloud, not just here in central Texas, but across much of the state. We had a cold front that moved through that brought our isolated severe storms yesterday evening. That front is now to our east, and high pressure is built in, squashing much in the way of clouds and also keeping the weather really nice here today. That high is going to gradually move eastward, so tomorrow is going to be almost as nice as today, but then maybe a few clouds around. Let me take you through the changes that you will start to notice later in the week. We start with tonight, which is clear and cool. Here come a few passing clouds that we'll have during the day here tomorrow. So we'll call it a lot of sun, a few clouds. More sun than clouds, but not as clear as today. And then the clouds actually thicken up as we head into Monday night. Then the humidity rolls in, the clouds roll in, and our rain chances start to return as we head into your Tuesday. So Monday, the sunniest, driest day of the week. Tuesday, scattered showers and thunderstorms become possible. They're possible in the morning. They're a little more likely later in the day from the metro to our eastern counties especially, and then even through your Tuesday night and at times into Wednesday as well. How much rain would we get on Tuesday? Amounts looking light for the most part, between about 1/10 and half an inch in the areas that get some showers and storms. Not everybody gets wet weather though on Tuesday, although there are more opportunities to come here later in the week. After that cold front yesterday, temperatures are cool across the state, 60s, 70s, and low 80s here today, and we'll actually still be relatively cool compared to normal for tomorrow. well, as we head through the 70s to almost 80. 81 is normal, though, for this time of year. And we'll do another day with highs in the upper 70s, but it'll be much more humid for Tuesday. And then the numbers keep climbing, middle and even upper 80s by Thursday. So we're back above average here beginning on Wednesday. One thing you'll notice, too, is the humidity is going to roll back in Monday night. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, most of Thursday, even to a portion of Friday, it's going to be humid, if not very humid. So that stickiness will be ever present here after we go through your Monday. Tonight down to 50. There'll be 40s in the hill country. And then we head for 79, a lot of sun, a few scattered clouds here tomorrow. There will be daily rain chances beginning Tuesday. Here's Wednesday, Thursday as well, possibly into Friday. And we're now seeing some signs that there may actually be a renewed chance of rain during the second half of next weekend. So rainfall amounts not impressive yet, but if we get these almost daily rain chances, wouldn't be surprised if the rainfall estimates start to go up. Look at our first warning weather 7-day forecast. There's your one dry day being Monday, but rain chances are only at 40% here for Tuesday and Wednesday, so it's not a washout of a day. 30% rain chances Thursday, that drops to 20% Friday. A mostly dry day Saturday, and then rain chances go up slightly for Sunday.
This is KXAN Sports, brought to you by Thomas J. Henry.
UC Baseball found themselves in a scrappy series with Baylor. The Longhorns narrowly escaped Waco with a win on Friday, blew a 4-run lead in the ninth last night, and we're in a high-scoring battle in the series finale today. Go to Waco right now. Bottom of the sixth, we pick it up. 2 on for Caleb Bergman, and Bergman hits this one into the gap, and that's going to clear the bases of all the base runners. That 2-run single would make it 5-3 Bears. Top of the seventh now. Porter Brown for Texas with 2 on at the plate. And this one goes off the wall. It's going to be a long single, but it will score 2 runs. Or excuse me, we'll score 1 run. Now here's a 2-run single from Ryan Galvan to put the Longhorns on top 6-5 in the 7th. Into the top of the 8th. Texas needing some insurance, and they get some from Eric Kennedy. Blasts this one to right field, and that gives the Longhorns a 2-run lead, 7-5 at that point. Baylor, though, you know they're going to make it interesting. They've been doing it all series long. Bottom of the ninth. Cole Tremaine, though, trying to get greedy. He's trying to take second base, but Galvan throws him out. So Texas able to get an out there. Then with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth, 1-run lead. LeBaron Johnson strikes out Walker Polk, and Texas survives 7-6 to beat Baylor and win the series. Softball, Reese Atwood drove in Mia Scott to win the game for the Longhorns 3-2 as they were able to secure a series victory over the Jayhawks. Top 5 matchup coming up for Texas later this week. They'll face 3rd-ranked Oklahoma State. Back to baseball, another midweek game for the Texas Longhorns as they will host Abilene Christian on Wednesday night at 6:30. That comes before they host Oklahoma next weekend. All right, Austin FC still reeling after not a loss, but not a win either. We'll hear from the Verde and Black when sports continues after this. Austin FC still trying to find some mojo after last night's match. It didn't end in a loss, but it didn't end in a win either, which is what the Verde and Black desperately wanted after a trying week. Austin FC smarting after this one. They had more shots, 18-13, and shots on goal, 7-4, than Vancouver. Still couldn't find the back of the net. It's a problem that is continuing to frustrate Austin FC to no end.
Tying at home is not what we live on, and that's not what we're satisfied with. So that's a disappointing reality that we weren't able to grab 3 points here. But you stay level-headed because this is what it is. It's a long journey. There's going to be a lot of games coming.
We've seen what these guys are capable of over the years, and I know that they're doing everything in their power to get the goal. So for me, I'm not worried one bit, and I'm glad they're frustrated because it shows that just how much they want to succeed.
Now, Austin FC midfielder Diego Fagundes suffered a groin injury in the game last night. We'll get an update on him later this week. Austin FC will be back on the road to face the LA Galaxy next Saturday at 9:30. Late kickoff there. To Circuit of the Americas, a busy weekend out there concluded today with MotoGP's Grand Prix of the Americas. Paco Bagnaia held the lead for a while until on lap 8 in turn 2, Bagnaia crashes. We're going to get a very up close and personal look at the crash right here. His racing team can't believe it, visibly shooketh at that turn of the events. Pardon the expression. Bagnaia's loss is Alex Ren's gain. he wins the Grand Prix of the Americas. And Bill, imagine how scary it would be to fall off of that.
I was going to say, I always see these races and they're leaning so much, and when you fall, they just kind of hover across the ground. I hope he's okay. Scary
Yeah,
stuff.
he is. He's just upset.
You a motorcycle guy?
No, not at all, because of that stuff.
It's a good thing to scare you away from.
You saw that up-close replay?
Absolutely.
Let's get you set for the school day tomorrow. A chilly start in the 50s. Probably want to have those kids in long pants and a sweater, but then we warm up nicely and head to almost 80 later in the day. So then you can lose the sweater at least.
I was going to say perfect day, but a perfect day to be outside. We'll see you coming up here at 9. Thanks for joining us.